What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Yesterday, the whole ranked ladder actually got an update, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to climb out of silver and into gold. And this obviously will work for bronze as well. But yeah, I'll show you guys the decks I used and then play a game with each one. So we'll get right into it, and this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer video today. Just because I have to, I got to explain 3 decks instead of just one. So yeah, 3 decks that we're going to be explaining is the Mono Red Aggro, the Golgari Midrange / Aggro. You can build it either way, mid-range or aggro, and mine's sort of in between. And then the Izzet Drakes deck. So we'll start off with the Izzet, and then move on to Golgari, and finally the Mono Red. So hopping right into it, we have 3 dive downs, 4 ops, 2 spell pierce, and I'm not going to go through and explain this whole deck. Rather, I'll just slide through the cards real quick. You guys can pause it if you really want to read on one, but it's not too complicated and it's not too difficult of an idea to, I guess, comprehend. Actually, this deck is missing something that I'm looking at it, because I did try and go back, of course, and update my decks as I got more cards for them, but yeah, nonetheless, this is more like what you should be having. 2 Goblin Electromancers, should definitely be in there. Nonetheless, the whole point behind the Izzet Drakes deck is to obviously buff your Drakes with with your instants, your sorcery cards being in your graveyard, your exile, whatever it may be. And actually, if you wanted to, you could add in some quasi duplicate as well. Probably take out like one of the dive downs and one of the chart of the course, and add in 2 quasi duplicates. Again, this is only if you really want to, if you're really looking for that faster gameplay. Excuse me, where's Quasi at? Oh, there it is. Alrighty. And this will allow you, obviously, to buff your Drakes out a little bit more. So these decks have a lot of play with them, to where you can sort of change out the cards that you don't like and play either faster or slower, depending on your game style. So yeah, the point behind this is obviously buffing your Drakes, but at the same time you want to be discarding your Phoenixes. So whenever you cast 3 instants or sorcery spells in a turn, which should be fairly easy considering they're all fairly cheap, Arclight Phoenix returns to the battlefield with haste on it. So obviously that gives you a lot of rush damage early on, or not early on, but in the mid game. Sorry. So Izzet Drakes deck is kind of a mid-range deck. I wouldn't say you could really win 2 aggro with it, but I mean, I guess I won't discount it either if you manage to get the right cards. Moving on to the Golgari grind deck, couple things to take note of right off the bat. Demonic Vigor and Enter the Unknown are not in like the actual versions of this Golgari deck, so these are just my add-ins because they're cheap and they play well with what we're trying to do here. So moving on, we have some Merfolk Branchwalkers, some Jadelight Rangers. Essentially, you're only going to want to play this deck if you have this card right here. If you have at least 3 to 4 copies of this card. Now, you can still play Golgari, but I don't recommend playing this deck, because this deck is heavily based off the Wild Growth Walker. So if you don't have it, there's no real substituting it in and getting the same effect. So yeah, we have some Golden Demise for some sweeper effects, as aggro is really huge in ranked right now, or at least in gold ranked. So moving on, Journey to Eternity is a really great card to both get creatures back, and whenever they enter the battlefield, obviously Wild Growth Walker is going to be getting a bonus from that. We have Ravenous Chupacabra for some removal, Vraska's Contempt for some removal and life gain, and this is also really good if we're going up against another Golgari deck. We can actually Vraska's Contempt their Wild Growth Walker so they can't come back from the graveyard. Two Path of Discoveries. Again, this is a card that is not in the actual version of the deck, just something that I added in as a lack of cards, and I figured it would do fairly well. And it's a little costly, I will admit, so if you wanted to change it out for something a little bit cheaper, by all means. We have one Vivian Reed and one Vraska, and two Carnage Tyrants to try and help us out against the aggro, try and help us out against the burn, the ones that are just be getting our creatures off the board ASAP. Moving on, I would only use the Woodland Cemeteries and the Memorial to Follies as the lands. I wouldn't be using really any gates because you need your lands almost as immediately as you get them here. And then last but not least, we have the mono red aggro, and again, this deck is not fully outfitted, so I'll go through and tell you guys sort of what you should leave in, take out, and some things that I added in as my own creative twist to them. So these top 5 cards, I believe, are all in there. Oh, no. Except for Goblin Instigator. So Lightning Strike, Lava Cool, Shock, Gintu, Fanatical Firebrand. These are all staples of the mono red. I added in the Goblin Instigators as I didn't have enough cards to make an actual mono red. So I went back and made it a mono red aggro with goblins, and it does fairly well, and it did help me get to gold. So again, the final version of this, or the version that a lot of people play, they don't have any of the Flame of Keld. They have, I think, 4 Experimental Frenzies to help them with the sort of card draw deficit that you get in the mono red. So yeah, that's all the decks explain, and now we'll hop into a game with each one of them and show you guys how they work out. Alright, so we're going to start with the Izzet deck, the Izzet Drake, Midrange, Phoenix, whatever you want to call it. It's got a lot of different names, but this will be our first deck that we sort of play through, and I'll show you guys the ropes with. Personally, this is my least favorite to play and my least favorite to play against. This deck just feels very stressful to play, right? Because you tend to burn them out in like 1 or 2 turns. That's really all this deck is about. You get out a Crackling Drake or well, I can't remember the fucking name. The 3-cost version of Crackling Drake that basically doesn't involve the cards in your exile. Another note, this deck actually has 4 copies of Crackling Drake. I only have 2, so big difference there, and making up for that deficit certainly was not easy. So yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead and play the blue mana and wait it out. Maybe we can bait him into thinking it's some removal. Maybe not. And he might be playing mono green Stompy. We don't want the Radical Idea actually, so we're just gonna send it to the bottom. And another Steam Vents. It's actually not that good either. So I think we just play the Discovery this turn. Dive down's fine. We don't really need the island. And Discovery, even if you're not running a blue-black deck, you can still use this first card of Discovery, and it works really well in Izzet decks as well. So there's a Marwyn coming down, so they're probably playing Elf Ball, or at least a version of it, if I had to guess about it. And yeah, we're probably just gonna throw this down tapped and play another Discovery. Sorry about my phone going off for no apparent reason. You know, I don't like it, but we're gonna draw out the Chart of Course, and next turn we'll get the Discovery. Probably gonna play Crackling Drake next turn though. We'll see. I might wait until I can use the dive down with it. Colossal Majesty. So he's playing some version of either Green Stompy or Elf Ball. I was gonna say we could play Chart of Course and then get our Phoenix onto the field, but we really can't unless we spend more than what we're looking to spend. So I'm thinking we just Okay, we're just gonna get our Drake down. We'll get the card draw out of it. No need to play too hyphy. Granted, I probably should have waited on the Drake just to be sure with the dive down as well, but should be alright. Goblin Electromancer actually really helps us ramp this deck up, so we're going to enter the Steam Vent and pay the 2 life, and then we'll throw down a Goblin Electromancer, and now all of our spells pretty much only cost 1. So we're going to play Charted Course, discard the Phoenix, and I think we play Discovery and Opt and get the Phoenix right back. So we'll go ahead and Discovery and see if maybe we can discard another Phoenix this turn. No. Put the Crackling Drake on top, of course. And finally we'll Opt. And quick little note, this only works if it's before combat. Be sure to read over the card very, very closely. See, at the beginning of combat. On your turn, so be sure, you know, you're looking at it. So that'll be 9 damage on the swing in. And honestly, next turn we could probably have lethal, because we can buff our Drake. Okay, yeah. So there's the GG, and you guys can kind of see through that game. I'm only going to play 1 game with each deck, and then I'll explain a little bit afterwards. But you guys could see sort of with that little beginning combination there, that's essentially what you do every game. You want to get out the Goblin Electromancer, discard the Phoenix, get the Crackling Drake out, buff the Crackling Drake, attack with the Phoenix and the Drake, and yeah, just try and wipe your opponent in like 1 or 2 turns. That's not to say that it's aggro, but you know, it is to say that you need to win in a short succession of turns, otherwise it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Now you do have a lot of burn and all that, so alrighty, for our next deck we're going to be playing the Golgari Midrange, Midrange slash aggro I'll call it. Now this is probably my favorite deck to play, and it's the one that I've personally been playing the most. I think it has a lot of good potential. Granted, my deck needs some work to it, needs some more cards for sure. Still a really, really fantastic deck. And the Wild Growth Walker, I think that card is absolutely worth a pickup if you don't have it. It's only an uncommon, and yeah, the ability on it is just crazy insane. You get +3 life and put a +1/+1 counter on it every time you explore. Obviously in Golgari you're going to be exploring a whole hell of a lot. So we're just going to play another Llanowar and then a Merfolk Branchwalker this turn. And Memorial to Folly isn't bad because we can still play Jadelot Ranger next turn. And Memorial to Folly allows us to bring back a creature from the graveyards. And it looks like we're up against a Dimir Surveil, so that's alright. Ravage Chupacabra we will keep, as we can destroy out his Phantasm next turn. Not liking the fact that I only have lands in hand, but you know, I guess that's how it goes. This information campaign isn't really that bad for us here, because again, we only have lands, so. And we will throw down the Chupacabra and swing in with everything, because he can't really defend it. Alrighty, and Golgari decks do usually win by the classic face smash technique, just sort of swinging in with your creatures when you know you can, when you feel comfortable with it. So, and we might get rid of Jadelot Ranger here. Oh, he exiled it too, so that's unfortunate. It means we actually can't Memorial to Folly it back to the battlefield, but we will play Journey to Eternity on. We'll play it on the Chupacabra. Say they use a Chupacabra to kill my Chupacabra, or some other means to kill it, then it can come back to the battlefield. And we're looking pretty good, honestly, considering he's a Dimir deck and doesn't have. Okay, I was gonna say, considering he's Dimir and doesn't really have any cards down quite yet. Oh, he's probably gonna hostage taker my Chupacabra. Yeah, that's unfortunate. because that does exile, it doesn't kill it, so Journey to Eternity actually doesn't go off. There's the Wild Growth Walker we were looking for. And yeah, we actually don't have any creatures in our graveyard, so we can't use Memorial to Folly. So unfortunately, it looks like he's going to get the Chupacabra out on our Wild Growth Walker next turn, if I had to guess about it. He can still get it out, so probably will. There it comes. And again, it'll probably go on our Wild Growth Walker. Does mean that we can sacrifice Memorial to Folly and get it back into our hand, but unfortunately we do lose the land and we do lose the creature card advantage on the board, so things are starting to turn around in his favor, which is something we certainly don't like to see. We'll let the 2 damage go through. Path of Discovery is actually really good because every time we play a creature now, whether they explore naturally or innately or not, they will end up exploring and giving the Wild Growth Walker the bonus and as well as the buff on the health. So drawing another Wild Growth Walker is actually fantastic, so really excited about that. He's going to swing in with his Night Veil Sprite, but I can also swing in with my Wild Growth Walkers. Choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. That's crazy, right? I think one of you guys were talking about that card the other day. Mastermind's Acquisition. That's crazy. So he can get, like, what, Unmoored Ego in there? That would probably be the most detrimental thing to this deck ever. For those of you who don't know, Unmoored Ego, basically you select a card name and that person exiles all versions of that card that they have. So if he was to play it and play it for Wild Growth Walker, obviously there's nothing we can really do about that, and we'd sort of just be waiting on our Carnage Tyrants from there on. So, and he did chump block there, which means we have our Chupacabra back in our graveyard and we can actually return it to the battlefield if given the chance. River's Rebuke. Interesting. I think what I do next turn is play the 1 mana, play Path of Discovery, play the Land of War. Next turn I'll play the double Wild Growth Walkers and Merfolk and Land of War after that. So pretty good move there on his turn. We will play the Woodland Cemetery and get the Land of War down. Ooh, a Ravenous Chupacabra. That's what I like to see. That'll allow us to get the probably the Phantasm out. Honestly, the Sprite, he's not going to defend with it as he needs it to proc the Phantasm and to proc probably half his deck if I had to guess about it. Now, if he plays the discard, the Disinformation Campaign, that's actually alright. We're just going to discard the Forest here, because next turn we can actually get down both Wild Growth Walkers and the Branch Walker, which is fantastic. And he's only going to swing in for 3 here. Now his Phantasm is getting awfully close to getting the bonus to what it can attack, so we definitely need to try and get it out of here sooner rather than later. But I think we can't skimp this next turn. We have to play the Wild Growth Walkers and the Branch Walker. That's unfortunate, but it's not a game ender. We'll just discard the Land of War anyways. And then, yeah, play the Wild Growth Walker. It might be smarter here to play the Ravenous Chupacabra next. We can send Land of War to the graveyard. But, I mean, if we do, then we can get rid of Thoughtbound. Thoughtbound can attack next turn. I'm fine if the damage from Thoughtbound goes through. And there's another Forest card, so that's fine. And I'm probably going to keep the Forest in hand just in case he gets the Disinformation back in hand. Then of course we can discard the Forest instead. Or now I guess the Memorial to Folly, although we don't really want to be sacrificing the Memorial to Folly if we don't have to. So Wild Growth Walker is going to get huge, our health is going to get huge, and he's just going to concede once he sees sort of the strength of our deck. So that's the Golgari Midrange shown for you guys, and you guys can see obviously how strong the wild growth walkers are there. And yeah, that makes 2 out of our 3 decks shown and 1. And last but not least, we'll move on to our aggro red deck. Alrighty, so we're gonna hop right in with our aggro red deck and see if we can't pick up another victory as we have with the other 2 decks. I hope you guys are enjoying the video today. I hope you guys are getting some new and hopefully good deck ideas to help you get out of silver and into gold. Now obviously once you get in gold, it's not like you've made it, and that's not me cutting down anyone that's in gold. I'm in gold, but gold is where the real grind actually begins, because, well, you can't lose out of gold, so that's good. So everyone just tries to get to gold, but the thing with gold is whenever you win, you only win 1 point to rank up. In silver and bronze, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and sacrifice it here. I don't even want any kind of shenanigans dealing with mono blue or merfolk or any of that kind of shit. But as I was saying, Flame of Keld is nice. Nonetheless, silver and bronze, whenever you win, you rank up 2 points, and whenever you lose, you only move down 1 rank. So it's really easy to sort of grind out of it as long as you have a, you know, what, above a 33% win rate. You can get out of it, which isn't that bad. So I'm trying to give you guys these decks to help you boost your win percentage and get out of silver and get into gold, into the good stuff. Honestly, we may just play 2 Wizards Lightning here. We'll swing in, and I'm going to wait and see for his turn, but if he doesn't play anything on his turn, then, yeah, we're probably going to Wizard Lightning him straight to the face, because that'll put him down to 10. Why he would play Merfolk Trickster after I've attacked is surprising, to say the least. He could have played it before I ever attacked there and not lost the damage, so I don't know. Nonetheless, to each their own, I guess. We probably will go ahead and Wizard Lightning the Merfolk Trickster out of here. And we do have a Lava Pool in case he plays any Tempest Djinn, so there's the Exclusion Mage. And we can actually pop down the Wizard's Lightning before he returns it to our hand, so that's really good, actually. And he returned a Pyromancer, so the 2 damage is just going right back in his face here. Now we can go ahead and play the Flame of Keld, but I'm going to give it 1 more turn and see if he gets a creature out that we can Lava Cool. Because I don't mind discarding 1 Lava Cool, but discarding 2 is a bit painful for me. Ooh, Experimental Frenzy. Unfortunately, we are going to get rid of our only copy here. He does Spell Pierce it. I mean, yeah, we can go ahead and pay 2. Otherwise, we're just going to play like our other Lava Pool or our Flame of Keld. Those, I mean, it's eventually going to have the same effect. Like, we probably would have just played our second Lava Pool there had we not paid the 2, so that's fine. He gets another Warcop Marauder down and a Siren Storm Tamer. And I got 2 more Lava Cools, so tell me how this one feels for you, buddy. Also, apologize for my phone always going off. And we may actually be able to get Experimental Frenzy down. We'll have to see. If we draw a land next turn, I may go ahead and throw it down. It's just really expensive to destroy, and so if you don't end up coming up better off of it, then, you know, why did you even play it in the first place? Changed my mind. We're playing a Goblin Chain Whirler here. Ooh, he's got a counterspell. Yeah. Yep, there it is. And we'll go ahead and swing in here. He wants to block, I was about to say. That's fine. He doesn't have any cards in hand. We have a Flame, so we can get some cards fairly easily. But him, on the other hand, not so fortunate. So we are going to play the Lightning Strike straight to his face. We'll see if he counters it. No, but we do know he has a counter in hand, so might get countered here. No, we didn't. There comes out a Merfolk Trickster. And we already have him down to 7, so doing pretty good, and we'll end up drawing 3 cards in this turn. Nice, nice. Okay, so we're gonna try and play the Gintu, see if it gets countered. No, it does not. So we'll play our second Flame of Keld. And that's actually really good because it means that next turn we'll draw 3 cards as well as our other one activating its third step, which is obviously if you deal damage with a red source of any kind, it deals 2 extra damage. And yeah, let's see if it actually goes through. It does not. Wizard's Retort comes out. I was hoping he'd rather use that on our Lava Runner, but it's alright, we still got some damage off. And if we can draw a Lightning Strike or something like that this turn, then we can finish him. That's not what we needed, actually. A Mountain is terrible, to be completely honest. We're gonna go ahead and swing in. He has to block here. And I want to keep his creature count low. Extremely low, if at all possible. Now, unfortunately, we have already drawn both of our Flame of Keld, so drawn into something that gives us card draw is going to be a little bit more difficult, especially since we've already gotten rid of our 1 Experimental Frenzy. Now, obviously, this is sort of just a race against time. Okay, so he can't attack next turn, otherwise he does lose. So that's good at least. We sort of slowed him down a little bit. He's still going to attack. Maybe he has a Merfolk Trickster. Maybe he top decked another one. Either way, we'll get a Gintu out, or a Lava Runner, and swing in with everything. So even if he does have a Trickster, yeah, he can only tap 1 of them. Actually, that's game for him. See if we can't pick up another victory as we have with the first 2 decks, and wrap up this sort of little showcase, this little guide, I guess, to getting you guys into bronze, getting you guys into gold 4, hopefully out of bronze into gold. And we're gonna go ahead and play the Fanatical Firebrand for the early damage. Next turn we can play the Pyromancer, and then obviously game 2 after that. Or you play the Lava Runner here and Lightning Strike out his Lava Runner, which I think is a little bit more efficient play. And now it means in 2 turns we should be able to get out the Flame of Keld and try and ramp that damage up quicker rather than later. Okay, and he's just gonna forfeit, so we'll probably just keep that game that I just lost against the Mono Blue and the beginning of that game for you guys. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below. I really hope this video helped you find some decks that'll help you get out of silver and out of bronze and into that gold rank. And remember, you guys can't drop below, you know, your current tier, I guess, if that makes sense. Or not tier, that's a bad word to use, because I think they're called tiers. You can't get out of your rank. You know, if you're in bronze, you're not going to fall below bronze to wood or whatever. If you're in silver, you're not going to fall to bronze, and if you're in gold, you're not going to fall to silver. So try rank out, just grind it. It's really not that hard. I think it took me like 45 minutes yesterday to hit gold, so you guys should really give it a go. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about all 3 decks today, and let me know how your progress is going with ranked. I've managed to get into gold 4 and hit gold 3 once, but then I dropped back down to gold 4, so it's sort of been a grind fest here recently. But yeah. Oh, and subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.